It's
Yeah,
crazy.
but I also think people need to be honest about what are they actually really looking for as well.
Yeah.
Because I think people say, I'm trying to find a girl, I'm trying to find a man. Actually, they're not really trying to find
someone for tonight.
They're trying to find a short-term situation.
Tonight.
Maybe a little bit longer tonight. Tonight and
tonight and a few days.
And a few days. You know, or maybe just a long-term dip-in. Like, you know, a skinny dipping partner. You know,
but we used to.
No, but the thing is,
but you reinvent all these
people are not honest.
But they're reinventing the wheel. Like we used to call it a friend. Like that's what your friend was.
Yeah, but
we're kind of friends, but we just
no. But now.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Welcome back to another episode of the Couple School Podcast. I'm joined, as always, by the lady of self-love herself, Charmaine Lawrence.
Hello, guys. How are you? I don't know why he's smiling to himself. Like, I don't know what's going on over there in your little mind.
Because I've been waiting for this one.
Oh, gosh.
I've been waiting for this one. It's an on-topic conversation.
Okay.
Why is it harder now for someone to find love than before?
Oh, you know my answer to this. Because there is so much option.
Yep.
There is so much options. People just don't like to narrow it down. People don't like to make decisions. People want everything that they think they can possibly have. They want it all. They want it all. And everyone has unrealistic expectations. I'm going to get angry. You all have unrealistic expectations.
I saw a frown.
Yeah. Like, you know, because I've been, like, talking to people, I've been seeing things, and I think this weird concept that I think has come from America, this weird concept that I want this man to do everything for me, and I don't have to do anything. He just needs to be able to do these things to show that he's invested in me, and then I'm going to be a great wife once he marries me. And then men are like, oh, she has to look 10-10, she has to be like this. She has to be loving and caring and nurturing.
And also be a porn star.
Also be a porn star, but also bring the money in as well. And also don't nag me, but make sure the house is clean. And then what they do is they scroll every single app. I'm not naming all of the dating apps, as well as all the social media apps. And they like and talking, constantly options. The reason people find it hard to find love is because they have very unrealistic expectations and they have way too much choice. People don't make choices. There's always someone waiting in the wings.
I'm going to take that word choices out of it. I'm going to slide the word
Options.
that you chose first. Options. I think the way that the dating world is played out right now is counterintuitive to what relationships are all about. Relationships are all about choosing your person and having someone choose you over them, their circumstance, and what's going on around them. That's what we want. You know?
Yeah.
We want to be someone's first choice. That's what makes a relationship, in essence, special. Because you know that someone has got your back, sometimes above and beyond your capabilities and what you have. The problem you've got with dating at the moment, which is supposed to be the prerequisite to being in a relationship, to me, it's now separate completely and lives in its own universe over here. It's all about the promotion of options and the removal of choice. So we can meet someone, and I don't even know what the stages of dating are anymore. By the way, like I'm all confused. So like, I can meet someone, and we can be together, but we're still seeing other people.
Yeah.
So and then after that, we're still not exclusive, but I suppose we're talking a little bit deeper. Then I don't understand what exclusive means anymore now.
Exclusive means that you're just intimate with each other,
but we're still seeing other people. I can still talk to other people. Okay. Then I've got closed off. This is a new one for me. Like when closed off. I saw it on Love Island.
That's the same as exclusive.
Is it no? Because closed off means you're telling other people that. Now you're telling the other people that you're with the other person.
You're focused on the other person.
And you're focusing on your person, but apparently you can still talk to somebody else.
Yeah, same as exclusivity.
And then then there's boyfriend and girlfriend, where apparently now that means that it's just one person.
Yeah. I don't get it.
There's way too many phases and stages in there that ultimately, if you take a look at what a relationship is, and you can go back over the last couple of podcasts and illustrate it to it, a relationship's a journey that you experience stuff that builds that thing called trust.
Yeah.
That's at the crux of every relationship. You trust this person to be there for you, have your back, have your say, whatever it may be. Without the potential challenge, you don't get the trust.
Mm-hmm.
Without the focus, you don't get the trust. Without the choosing of the person, you don't get the trust.
Yeah.
So it's no wonder that all of you people out there that are in all of these phases before boyfriend and girlfriend can't trust.
Yeah.
Or earn it. Because it's never, the environment that you're trying to grow it in,
yeah,
doesn't work. It's like, I don't know, it's like trying to grow a flower, like a rose, in a room with all the water you could possibly have, like soil and no light. You get no flower. Like,
yeah.
It's absolutely impossible.
What do you think it should look like? Like the process, the dating process.
What
should it look like for you?
For me, it's the power comes within the choosing of the person, and everything else comes after you've chosen the person. To me,
yeah.
You know, the whole getting to know someone only exists if you're willing to get to know someone in the parameters of what you class as your relationship moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
As you go through the stuff that tests it.
So, how do you feel about people seeing other people while they're meeting multiple people, and they've met 3 people that they think are potentials?
You still haven't made a choice. You haven't started. To me, you haven't. No, but you haven't. Like, to me, you haven't. You haven't made a decision. You've gone, oh, it could be you. It could be you. It could be you. It's like, okay, I have a lottery ticket. Like, it means nothing to me.
I kind of get confused about how men are doing this dating thing, right? Because for me, I see it as you meet somebody, you talk to them for a while. Like, I meet up and you go to the park and you chat, or you go places where you can actually talk, right? Mm-hmm. Coffee, low maintenance things, so you can talk and get to know that person on the phone, blah, blah, blah. So you might talk to 3 people, but there's someone that's going to stand out as somebody that is a potential mate, in my opinion, right? And then when that person is a potential mate, that focus is on that person. This is where I believe exclusivity comes. So then it's just you focusing on that one person. That's where I see it. To me, you're still not even really dating. It's still low-key stuff.
It doesn't happen until you choose.
Yeah, but then you choose. But then you can't choose until you know that there's somebody. Like, this is what I'm saying. So I know what you're saying about choosing, but choosing for me is when you decide that that's the person you focus on. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
But before then, there should be no dating. I don't understand why.
Yeah, but it's not dating. Like, the whole point, like, dating used to be a prerequisite to a relationship. And the dating was me getting to know you. Yeah. That's what dating was.
Yeah.
You didn't date multiple people. You dated a person.
But they are dating multiple people because they feel like to know.
Okay,
you're getting to know multiple people.
No, but you're not. You're getting to know someone. You're getting to know someone that's also getting to know multiple people. Like, to me, that the scenario is not complete. Mm. Like, you can't, like, how can I put this? Your ultimate goal, let's say, for argument's sake, my ultimate goal is I want to be in a relationship with someone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to know what this person is like in a relationship until we're in a relationship scenario type situation. Mm-hmm. The person that you are, and I've said this time, single person and relationship person, they're not the same people. So, mm-hmm. The person you are when you are seeing multiple people is not the person you're going to be when you are dating one person. Mm-hmm. So it's a fallacy, really. If I'm sat here, but I want to be here, but I'm saying I need to stay here for X amount of time whilst we all get to... You're never going to know, like, you're not going to know if this is the person that you should be spending exclusive time with until you spend exclusive time with them. Mm. This is the problem you have with dating as a whole right now, which is why there are so many people that say that dating is hard, because you're not dating, you're seeing.
Yeah.
And I understand the difference between seeing people and dating people.
Yeah.
Seeing people, like, there's no attachment really. Like, it's...
Yeah, I don't
could sleep with this person, could sleep...
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree. I think the seeing that you're saying, the seeing people, is when you are just like, okay, there's a number of people that you might be interested in.
Yeah, might be.
And you might go, okay, cool. I'm talking to that person. I'm talking to that person. But for me, dating doesn't start until you make the choice of who you are actually going to pursue.
Right. Because dating is the prerequisite.
Right.
It's the pre-game
That's how I feel.
to relationships, and relationships are all about choice. You can't start dating, in my eyes, and I know the internet and the world are going to jump on my neck and tell me I'm wrong, and we're going to have it out of whatever format it is. But the problem that we have right now in the world is because everybody believes that they can be whatever, whenever, if ever, and however they choose to, and have everything at the same time.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work that way. Like, especially when it comes to connection between you and somebody else. You ultimately want a relationship that is trusting, where someone is going, you can trust that this person is going to have your back and be only about you for life and X, Y, and Z. That's what you want. But it's being birthed out of a situation whereby you're having to accept knowing that this person hasn't chosen you, and is chosen you amongst multiple other people, and you're supposed to be happy with that, and they're supposed to trust you, whilst they also know that you are seeing and dating multiple people alongside that.
Yeah.
But somehow we're all supposed to trust each other. That doesn't make no sense to me.
Or they're dating multiple people, but they're not telling each person that they're dating multiple people, because they want the person to really believe that it's just them, but they're still keeping these other options open just in case this situation doesn't work out.
But let's not get twisted. That bit has always existed.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we used to call players.
Yeah.
There was a label for those people, and don't get me wrong, I'm saying that because I'm out of the club, but I used to be a proud member of it. But I mean, like, that's what you call players, people that used to play the game. That's what that was about. And that's when people understood it. That guy was a player, that girl was a player. Cool, they're over there. They're not here.
Yeah.
But the problem you've got here is now, in our efforts in this PC stupid world that we live in, where we want to make everybody feel inclusive of everything, we've removed all of the stages of things and gone, right, well, you just be anything and anyone. So now you've got players over here mixing with people over here that are now fooling people. It's crazy.
But I also think people need to be honest about what are they actually really looking for as well.
Yeah.
Because I think people say, yeah, I'm trying to find a girl, I'm trying to find a man. Actually, they're not really trying to find
someone for tonight.
They're trying to find a short-term situation.
Tonight.
Maybe a little bit longer tonight. Tonight
and a few days.
And a few days. You know, or maybe just a long-term dipping. Like, you know, a skinny dipping partner. You know,
but we used to.
No, but the thing is,
but people
are not honest.
But they're reinventing the wheel. Like, we used to call it a for friend. Like, that's what your for friend was.
Yeah, but
we're kind of friends, but we just
no. But now, no one wants to be labelled as that no more. Like, people don't want to be labelled as the F buddy anymore. They don't want to be labelled. They will prefer a side chick title than the F buddy title, because a side chick gets more. Yeah, she gets more.
Does she?
Yeah, she does. An F buddy is a nighttime thing. I'm calling you to do this. A side chick, she gets benefits. She gets flown out. She gets bags.
Yeah, no,
gets
wait for a second.
Ask them on social media.
You're talking levels here. Like, that's the side chick in that respect. It's always existed.
Yeah, the mistress. Back in the day, it was called the mistress. Yeah,
it's always existed. You've got a new name for stuff. You know?
Yeah.
The side chick isn't that. You get elevated from the side chick to the mistress. The side chick's the chick that you call at 2 a.m. when you get to the bottom end of the rave.
The side chicks.
I'm out of date. This is why I don't. Let's put it this way.
The side chicks are
This is why I don't do advice for single people. I don't, because I don't understand the world you're in.
No,
I deal with people
that
in relationships. I understand that, and I understand the rules around that, the parameters. Inside of the whole singledom world, I just look at it and I go, there's no wonder so many relationships are failing, because this is what they're being born out of.
Yeah.
You can't expect sanity from confusion. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what you're doing here in efforts to get here is counterintuitive to everything that here represents. It's a nonsense to me.
Yeah.
It really is.
I mean, I think, like I was saying, like, there is a dishonesty about what people want. Like, people are saying they want something, but they don't. Like I'm, as much as I think the dating market is, you know, someone told me that it's the jungle. As much as it's the jungle, I really do believe if I was single, I don't think I would have a difficulty in finding a mate. The reason I don't think that is because I know and I'm honest about what I'm looking for from the jump. So I know this is what I'm looking for, and because I'm looking for those things, there's things that I would expect to happen. Like, why are you taking me to a fancy restaurant? I'm not your woman. Why are you doing that? I don't even know you. You want to impress me so early on when you don't know whether or not I'm the woman for you. And I think there's a certain things I'm very honest about what I'm looking for, so I don't need all that fancy stuff. When I'm your woman, I'll happily be your trophy. I'm not trying to be your trophy and I don't have no title.
But he's trying to impress you. You can't knock him for that.
No,
man
you can't. No, don't do
no,
that.
No, wait.
Because
Man pulls up at say house, wants to take you out, and takes you to
Noble. Don't even know my address.
Noble was the first
No,
date.
you don't even know my address.
You tell me you're not going to come out.
Trust me. Listen.
Okay.
For me, I don't. Unless you are really clear with me, and we're going to be talking for some time. Like before I go out on a date with anyone, we're going to be talking for some time. I want to see whether you can make me laugh, or we're laughing, we're having like. There's a certain thing, like, and I know you guys got putting in effort these days just for a bang, like stop, don't do it. Just put in effort for women that you want to be in a relationship with, like, because that's where the confusion lies. What I'm saying, people are not honest. You're putting in so much effort for someone that you don't want to be in a relationship with. Like, so women are getting confused. Like, oh my God, he did this, he did that, he did this, he did
so
that.
Simple.
It's not
I
simple
don't understand.
anymore. If you are trying to find someone that you want to be in love with, you have to be very honest about what it is you're looking for from the very beginning. And because everyone has now been hurt, there's so much trauma flying around, and some of it's not even your own trauma. It's trauma that other people have experienced that you have seen, and then you're taking it all on like it's your own trauma. And now you're scared to be really vulnerable and open and honest about what you want and what you're looking for. So I think that's the main issue, is like, if you are looking for someone for your partner, you spend time getting to know them, and then you choose, this is the person that I want, and you focus on that person. I don't understand why it takes more than 3 months for someone to be your girlfriend or boyfriend.
Right, that's what you say. I think
you can tell that we're just out of the game.
We are completely, and the thing is, I don't want you guys. Like,
I'm sorry. This doesn't make no sense to us. But you guys all feel like it makes sense.
If anyone, if there had been and I've said this numerous times, if there had been a camera over my shoulder, or someone had been a fly on the wall for Carolina's first date, serious date, you'd have looked at it and gone, "That's a business transaction," because it was. If I want this, and this, and I'm prepared to give this, and I really want that. It was like that, and it was okay. Cool, we've done that bit. Now we can get on with the fun aspect. I think you're very, very it's nailed on head in terms of the understanding what you want and being honest with it, and being clear with it. And I think there are a lot of guys out there, particularly, and I speak to guys directly, like, that are hurting themselves by playing the game when really and truly what you want is something serious.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you've got to be in it to win it, which means you can't do this half-heartedly. Like, love is one of them things, or relationships is one of them things that you can't buy half the ticket and experience half the ride. No, you can't be in it for all the good stuff and not have the vulnerability. You can't be in it for all the good stuff and not have the potential of being hurt. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So, if a relationship is what you want, and you want someone that's going to grow with you and be your partner and be there for you and do all these bits and pieces, these nice bits and pieces, you have to understand you've got to set the framework from the start and go, okay, cool. This is what I'm looking for, so put yourself in those parameters. Like what you're saying just earlier on, if let's say for argument's sake, I was approaching this whole world of single like now, I don't think I'd have an issue, because I wouldn't entertain the fly-by-nights.
Yeah.
You know, and my standards for myself, I understand that my standards for myself are mine, and they're impartial to everybody else, which means they're also impervious to anybody else's opinion. You know, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what I want.
Yeah.
If you don't fit that, that's fine. You can be yourself way over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's you've got to be clear.
You have to be really clear. Like, me and Babe did not have the same setup as you and Karen, like, where you guys knew, right, okay, so let's talk about this, like, do we want this? We didn't have the same setup. But when it came to that point, we were seeing each other. So we were seeing each other, getting to know each other. We even went on holiday. We went on holiday like within a month of being together, like
Yeah, but I love that.
of seeing each other.
Yeah, but I love that. I love that because that as much as you hadn't admitted, okay, right, well, we're going to be doing this. Both of you are assigned. This is what I mean. You're assigned to it in your head,
like,
so you made the decision independently. You just hadn't communicated it to each other.
And also, it was also a test to see like how we would get on having this weekend break, just the two of us, like getting to know each other, blah blah blah, whatever. I think when we got back from that, we're like, okay, let's just see how it goes.
Yeah, but my point is, like, both of you independently must have looked at this, whether it be conscious or subconscious, and gone, I'm in it for a forever thing.
Yeah.
To make that a possibility. Now,
but even still, after that trip, it was still a couple of months later. Then we were like, okay, right, what are we doing?
Yeah, but you got to that point,
but we were working it up. We were working up to that point, and I think I would go as far as say we were seeing other people, like just like talking to other people, getting to know each other. But we were spending a lot of time together, so the other people were kind of like not getting the attention. So we were like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, and he was like, let's just drop our people in it. Sorry to the girl that he dropped. But we decided let's just drop those people and let's just like focus. And so when we did that, we then basically had just still got to know each other, but started dating. You see what I mean? So at first we were just seeing each other, doing little things, blah blah blah. But literally, when we made a decision that actually it's just going to be me and you, we're exclusive, we're a relationship. Now we started dating. Now we started doing other things that we knew we were going to enjoy, and because we now had gotten to know each other, the things we liked, we didn't like, you know, it was really interesting. Like for me, I don't feel like I would have that problem again. I'm very clear on what I want and what I don't want, and I'm happy to do the seeing stage, because the seeing stage for me shows me your values. It gives me an opportunity to see what your values are and like what you want and what your family are like and how you grew up, and that's the seeing stage. And then I'm like, okay, I like these values, I like this, and you know, and also he was very clear, like, this is where I have been, this is where I am now, and this is where I want to be. He barely remembers that conversation. I remember it very clearly, word for word, because at that moment I was like, I'm going to take him seriously.
Of course it was. It was a trigger point because you needed it.
And I knew his end goal was similar to what I wanted for my end goal.
There you go.
So for me, I was like, okay, if he's serious, then we can do this. And we carried on seeing each other until we're like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
The thing is, I comment on that conversation with Karen at the business meeting, I call it.
But I love a good business meeting.
Let's not forget that it was preceded by 6 years of friendship. So we had 6 years of interaction with each other at a non-relationship basis.
Yeah.
So I had a reasonable understanding as to what she was, who she was, what she was about, this and the other. She had the same thing with me, although she did have she thought I was some sort of player kind of thing.
Well, I mean, you hung off your boots, but
okay, a long time ago. But like she had that deleted itself very, very, very quickly. You know, so we had that. It's almost like 6 years of courtship.
Yeah.
Without it being caught in and being labelled as a romantic thing. It was just friendship, so to speak.
Yeah.
Beforehand, which enabled that type of situation that type of conversation to happen very early on.
Yeah.
But again, instead from, let's not forget that Karen's older than me, 6 months older, but she's still older. But so when we were both at the same sort of levels of stages and phase in life, to understand that, you know, we weren't looking for a fling. We weren't looking for just someone to muck about with, even though we said that, articulated it to begin with. It wasn't said with any kind of backbone. It wasn't really truly what we wanted. What we wanted was the partner kind of aspect of life.
Yeah, and I think when you're honest and open about that is what you want, you seek it. And I think sometimes we are so flooded with all this negative stuff going on, or this is this, and women are liars and men are liars and everyone's playing and when you're fulfilled with all of that, that's how you enter your situations. You enter your situations with all those fears. And so when I say, like, I don't think I would have that issues, because I don't have those fears. I don't have those fears that you know, there's going to be trust, or there's going to be an issue, or there's going to, like, I know what I want, and if you know what you want, like, also just be honest with me. If this is just a short-term thing, if we have the connection, I might be down and then drop you after that little situation and move on. I just need transparency, like, and I think people just need to be honest about that. And if I don't want to do that little thing, then bye, see you later. But just be open about what you're looking for.
I think the other aspect of it, I think if I think for myself, if I put myself in that situation, say single shoes and something like that, no deal was always an option for me.
Yeah.
You know, I was quite prepared to walk away. Like, I wasn't holding on to something for the sake of holding on to something. And I think my attitude would be would be the same now. You know, so if I was approaching the single vibe of life and this and the other, and I did bump into someone that the soon as they showed me that, you know, you weren't in line with what it was that I wanted, then I end it and move on to the next. And I think people need to bear in mind, as we've said before, the end goal. Like, the end goal isn't to just initiate a relationship. The end goal is to sustain and evolve the relationship.
Yeah.
Which means you've got to accept the risk that you're gonna have to kiss a few frogs. You're gonna bump into a few people that aren't gonna meet the grade, that might be close to it but not quite. Accept it for what it is. It's not a reflection on you or a point that you can call a failure or anything like that. There's no labels to be attached to it, because the objective is we want to find a relationship that we can learn and we can grow with and we can develop. If that's the goal, then that remains the goal until the goal is achieved. And that includes all of the non-starters, false starters, people that try to fool us, maybe try to put all over your eyes, don't tell the truth. All of those people fall into the premise of, I need to get to the end goal. Don't forget what the end goal is. They weren't. They might have come along to teach you something, show you something, whatever it may be. The end goal is the target. And don't forget it.
Yeah, I agree. No. What was that main question?
I forgot, my computer's all locked itself up now. I'm trying to put it back out. Why is it harder now for someone to find love than before?
Yeah, we've answered. Yeah, I think we've answered. I don't think I've missed anything. I definitely think it's down to people not being clear about their want. And sometimes I think people don't know what they want. They just have an idea of they want to be in something. Because society says you should be in something. So I wanted to be in something. And I want to be, and I think there's a new phase of women of, I just want to be cared for. I just want to be looked after. I want to be cared for. But they don't necessarily know what they're bringing to the table. Like, they don't. And so I think men are getting really frustrated with, well, the men I've spoken to, they're getting really frustrated with this idea that women want to be looked after, but they don't really want to bring anything apart from being a woman. And I think there's so much that you have to kind of bring to the table for both parties. And I think there's just a miscommunication at the moment between men and women. I don't subscribe to it personally, but then I know that's because I do a lot of work on understanding emotions and behavior and all that kind of stuff. But I just think people just need to be open and honest about what they really want when they're approaching people. And guys, stop spending all this money like you're attracting women that only want you for that. Like, a woman that really is interested in you will go and sit down on a park bench. I don't care what anyone says. She will sit on the park bench and she will chat to you and walk your dog with you. She will.
Anyone, and I can say this with my chest, any guy that I know that is in a serious relationship that has stood the test of time, if you ask them what their actual first date was, it was an inexpensive maneuver. It was a ZZ's, a giraffe, a Pizza Express, a park walk.
Ours was Bagel. We went Bagel King, and we sat and ate the bagels in the car and just talked. That was our first situation.
Ours, the significant date was in it's not even there anymore. It was in Sizzling. This is just before Eltham. And it was a meal deal kind of thing.
It's like cool. Some of those situations, that's the real conversation when you can really get down to the nitty gritty.
But the thing is, you know what? It's the conversation was the point of the date.
Mm.
It wasn't about the flamboyance of it. It wasn't about valet parking or how much the meal cost.
Yeah.
The objective of the date was to talk
and
to get to know the other person. And when your objective is that, both people, the money side of things leaves the table and it just exits because it's a nonchalant point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think just be honest about what it is you're looking for from the very beginning, what you want, and then go for it. Like I really wish people would just go, okay, this is my person, and then just go for it. Like no fear. Like
the joke is right that
just go for it.
Again, I go back to most people that I've either coached or that I've spoken to that are in long distance relationships. Long distance, not long distance in terms of distance, but actually long term relationships. That's what it's come down to. They've had their stage and phase of doing X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. And then they've bumped into someone that's ticked boxes and they've gone, okay, let's see what this is about.
Yeah. And
just gone for it. And that it didn't come from, there's no one I know that's come from a flamboyant, I took her out to Nobu and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, those stories are the stories of the girls that are no longer, or the guys that are no longer in their lives.
Yeah.
The ones that are stuck were the ones that, we had a Marks and Spencer sandwich in whatever park and talked and it aligned.
Yeah.
Or,
and then he does those things. Then he does those
later.
things for his woman.
Later.
Like, not for, like, I don't understand the idea of, I can't imagine getting dressed up. If I was in a dating world, getting dressed up every weekend to go on a date with someone that I don't even know whether I want to be with him or not. Do you know how much time? For me, time is real currency. It's currency. I don't need to eat that much. Like, I'm sorry, I really don't need to eat that much to sit with someone for like nearly 2 hours to eat that you don't even know is, and get dressed up. Do you know how long it takes to get dressed? I'm not doing it. Shout out to the ladies that do that. I'm just not doing that.
It wouldn't even take me that long, but I wouldn't do it either.
I'm not doing it. I wouldn't do it.
I think
I want to get dressed up for my man.
I don't want to crap on hype on the dating situation or scenario that people are currently locked in at the moment. But I think it's an age-old rule. You've got to start with the end in mind, And if your goal is that you want a long-standing relationship that's gonna be there, that you can have this couple goals kind of lifestyle and grow and build and all the rest of it. Number one, they usually 9 times out of 10, well, actually 10 out of 10 for the people that I know, but I'm sure there are a few exceptions to the rule, started from an inexpensive decision to spend time. Yeah. And then also on top of that, started from a decision and a choice, a choosing of people. I choose you, you choose me. Whilst we're living in the world of options, understand choice doesn't exist. If choice doesn't exist, and choice is the currency of the relationship that you're trying to mold, manipulate, or create, then you're ultimately always going to be left empty-handed.
Yeah.
Relationships are about choice and vulnerability. Whichever way around you look at it, no matter how much the stars, you try and rearrange the stars, and how much society likes to put new labels on things, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
Not when it comes to that.
And there's always going to be somebody prettier, fitter, hotter. Like,
not than me, but yeah.
There's always going to be something. You don't swap it out. You don't swap out the person for this person because of that. That is a lack of self-discipline. It is a lack of self-discipline. You focus on what you've got and you be like, okay, cool, she's attractive, cool, that's that. She can be attractive over there, or he can be attractive over there. We don't need to be playing into messing up our situations.
Not at all. And
like, that's what I mean when I say options. It's like every time there's a new shiny toy,
of course.
It's like, oh, it's a new shiny toy. Let's go for that. No, stick with your toy. Your toy is good. Your toy is doing what it needs to be doing.
Don't forget that feeling that you've got is a feeling. Attraction is a feeling. It's a feeling. It's a momentary thing. It's there as long as the person is in view, and then when that person's gone, it's gone. Yeah. What you're trying to build is something a lot more sustaining than that. Which means you've got to see through past the feelings and deliver past them too. And that comes from choosing your person, not just in the length and breadth and the warmth of the decision of going, you're in front of me currently right now and I'm staring you right in your eyes and no one else is distracting me and blah, blah, blah. The strength of your relationship comes knowing that your person chose you when you weren't there and there was someone hotter, smarter, whatever it is it may be, around, and they still chose you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that brings us to the end of this week. Before you leave, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's down here somewhere on the bottom, somewhere. And I'll hit it somewhere there. And don't forget the infamous bell on the corner. We will be back on Tuesday, 8:30 on Instagram Live for Couple School After School. Come and disagree with myself, Charmaine, or agree with us. Share us your opinions, your experiences, whatever it is it may be. We'll be back next Sunday, 12 p.m. for the next episode of the Couple School Podcast, live on YouTube. And in the meantime, you guys stay strong, stay focused.
Peace.
Later.